This video explains how to use the variable data module to create your ID cards once the photos have been resized and stored. Open up the folder which contains the resized photographs, which is the edited pictures folder. Make sure that you have your variable data text file and the blank ID card available in the same folder. Your variable data file has to be a tab delimited text file which you can create from your Excel file. Open up your Excel file and follow the save as tab delimited file or save as CSV and store the data as a tab delimited file. Like this data file contains the names of each column in the first row. The first column is called pic, which will tell you what the name of the JPEG file is. Then the second column is the name, and the next three columns are the address lines. Okay, now we have a set of 8 data available in the data file. Okay, now you also have the blank PDF, which is 57 mm by 89 mm. Now let us assume you want to add a background to the ID card. So you can add a background by using the shapes module, right? And then you say you want a box of width 57 mm and height 89 mm. And let's say the background should be a gradient from 30% cyan to 80% cyan. So you go to custom colors or choose any color that you want, and then say you want 30% cyan, right? And then in the gradient box you say click on the plus button and you get the first color stored there for the gradient. Now it ends with cyan 80%, so now click on the custom color again and change it to 80%. Say OK and press the add button over here. Now the gradient starts from 30% cyan and ends at 80% cyan. You want a linear gradient and you want the gradient to go from bottom to top, so you say 90 degrees, right? And then drag and drop the blank ID card over here, and now you have the ID card with a gradient in it. Now that the blank ID card is ready, let us click on the variable data module. Click on the select data file, which opens a file open dialog, and select the data file that contains the variable data. It asks you whether the first row, which contains pic name ADD1, ADD2, ADD3, whether it's a heading or not. Since it's a heading and not a data line, you say yes. Now if you click on the select field, you will see all the columns in the data file, namely pic, name, address line 1, address line 2, address line 3. Now we have the blank ID card ready and the necessary data file selected. Now let us place the variable data in the appropriate locations in the ID card. First we have to place the name in the ID card, and since name is the text field, select the text field from this box and click on the add button. A text field is added, and now we have to specify the location where the name is to be placed. Since we want the name to be centered in the card, so the horizontal location is to be centered, so you leave that X column blank, which means horizontally centered. And then Y gives the distance from the bottom of the ID card, and we type in 10 mm from the bottom. And then you want the name to be center aligned, and you have to specify what is the column name of the name. Since we have name as the name of the column in the variable data file, you place the variable name within square brackets, right? And then you select the font that you want, right? And the size of the font in points, and now you can specify the color of the font, or you could specify the gradient. Now we'll just specify that the name has to appear in red color. As a next step, we need to place the photograph in the ID card. Since the photograph is a JPEG file, select JPEG from this list and click on the Add button. Again, specify the location of the photograph. We want it centered, so leave X as blank. And then we want the photograph to appear at a distance of 25 mm from the bottom, so type in 25. The picture has to be centered, bottom aligned, and then you have to specify the size of the image, let's say 25 mm by 25 mm, and then the name of the JPEG file that is to be placed in the ID card, which is called a pic in the variable data file. So you type in pic within square brackets, and then since the name is followed by .jpg, you type in .jpg. This is very important. Then if you want a rounded corner for the photographs, you specify the radius, and then if you want a outline around the photograph, you specify the stroke color, let's say red, and thickness is 0.5 points. Now next, if we want to have a barcode in the ID card which specifies the name of the person, you select the type of barcode from the list, click on the Add button. Again, you have to specify the location of the barcode. Since the barcode is to be centered, leave X blank, and then you want the barcode to appear at a height of, let's say, 65 mm from the bottom, so you type in 65. The barcode is to be centered around the point, and then you want the width of the barcode, it's 30, you could change it if you want, the height of the barcode. Next is the data that is to be encoded in the barcode. Since we want the name to be encoded in the barcode, type in the variable name within square brackets. And then if you want the name to appear before the barcode, you specify the point size and the particular font that you want. Or if you don't want the name to appear below the barcode, make it as 0. Now that we have placed the name, the image and the barcode, and if that's all we want in the front of the card, you drag and drop the blank ID card into this variable data box. And you will find that the variable data has been created. It contains the barcode, the name with the red outline and the rounded corners, and the name centered. So all the ID cards are now generated. Now we have the front of the ID card ready, and now we need to have the back side of the ID card with the address of each person. So before we start generating the back side of the card, rename the front PDF file as front. Next, we need to define the back side of the card. So to do that, we clear the settings, existing settings, press on the new button. Now we want to have the address line at the back of the card. Since address is a text field, select the text field from this list and click on the Add button. Specify the X and the Y location for the address. X needs to be centered, so leave it blank, and Y should appear at a distance of 50 mm from the bottom, so type in 50. The address is to be centered around the point, and then now you have to specify the leading, the distance between two rows of each address line. So let's say if we want it as 5 mm, type in 5, and now you specify the address. The address has 3 columns, add 1, add 2 and add 3. So place each one of them within square brackets, okay, each separated by a vertical pipeline. And then you can select the color of the address line. Let's say you want it as cyan, put it as cyan, and then drag and drop the ID card blank into the variable data box. Since we want the back side as white, so you could choose the blank ID card and put it in the variable data box, and the back of the card is now being generated. Okay, the 8 cards have their backs ready now. Now rename this file as back. Okay, now we have the front and the back. Now they need to be combined as front and backs. So close this box, go to the combine module, and then drag and drop the front and the back one after the other. Click on the combine as odd and even pages option and say combine. Now the two files have been combined, the front and the back, and as you can see, that's the front and that's the back, the front and the back. Now these ID cards can be imposed as you wish.